the kind of despise people have for the church, for instance, and the things of God, that when it's got to do with the church, anything goes. That God doesn't deserve our best. That God only deserves the leftovers. Somebody was asking my mother a question, that why am I preaching when I've gone to school? They say, why am I preaching? And my mother told the person, may God forgive your sins. Because your value system is warped. Because you don't have understanding. You think preaching is lower than working in the bank. That's your thinking. And don't get me wrong. You think being a businessman is more prestigious than being a preacher of the gospel. I am both. And I know where honor comes from. Honor from God. It comes more from being a preacher than being a businessman. I am both. So I can tell you where God's eyes is on. When you take care of God's business, how God is jealous over your life. When you take care of your own business, God is committed to you as a person. But when you take care of his business, God comes running. He's jealous. So I can prove to you that God is more interested in his business than your business. So you put his business first before your business. In your thinking, never think that to be a preacher is something that is lower than you. My sister, our last one is a lawyer, and she was preaching on a bus, and somebody, I think they took a video of her preaching on the bus, and somebody, one pastor got it, and another person got it. The person called me and said, "Hey, a lawyer preaching." I said, "What's wrong with that?" I said, "What's wrong with a lawyer preaching? What is a lawyer compared to a preaching? What is law compared to preaching?" Now she's preaching. And people will say, "Hey, wow. You see, he's a lawyer and he's preaching. Any idea?" Listen. You must know that anybody that serves in the kingdom, God rates you greater than when you serve in the world. It doesn't matter the amount of money you have in the world. Cornelius, upon all his money, when Peter got there, he fell on his face. Peter said, No, get up. I'm also a man like you. Peter was a fisherman. When he met a centurion, an army general. Why? Because as rich as he was, his spirit, he was poor. But our attitude is that the church doesn't deserve the best. The best is for God. When we see somebody who has first class saying, "I want to work for God," we say, "What a waste. What a waste." Not until we get our priorities right, it's going to affect how God sees us. Because we don't respect his thing. We think that the kingdom deserves leftovers. That if you have a good brain, it should be in the bank or somewhere, not in the church. That if you have money, it should be somewhere else, not in the church. And people who have funny ideas, believers, our mindsets will have to be corrected by the Lord to see how God sees, so that you will know, you will major on the majors and minor on the minors. If you look at how God weighs things, then you understand why certain things don't impress God. How God weighs. He said, by him actions are weighed. He weighs things. You can be a Belshazzar. See, when he had just one dream, when the hand appeared and wrote something on the wall, all of a sudden, Bible says his knees were knocking against each other. he became miserable at once. When Daniel came, he said, interpret for me, and I'll give you gold. He said, keep your gold to yourself. If God is coming to kill you, you see, you are going to be killed. You say, good. He said, keep your gold to yourself. You see, that is it's not pride, though. It's not pride. Peter said, your money perish with you. It wasn't pride. It was revelation.